It's okay. Hello, everybody. How are y'all this morning? Well, wait just a second. See if folks come in. I know my husband's here. Yes. Somebody else is here.
Yeah, that is a good camera angle.
Good morning, everybody. I know this is a little different. I'm not in the kitchen. So I wanted to, hey, Rebecca. Hey, Susan. So good to see y'all. Thank y'all for joining this morning. I wanted to do some updates. Sorry, the computer's shaking a little bit. We're plugging my mic. Can y'all hear me okay? Hey, Shelly. How are you doing? Y'all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up because okay, awesome. We'll give it a minute and I will update you on everything that's going on with Mama C's. Okay. It's gone now. He was distracting me trying to get that plugged in. I can read the chat today. Oh, thank you, Shelly. I appreciate that. Hey, Teresa. So, I wanted to update everybody in all that's going on here. As a lot of y'all know, we're in the process of moving. And we're moving from a 2-bedroom, fairly big apartment to a much smaller 2-bedroom trailer. It's a nice little trailer, but it is smaller. So we have been going through stuff, and to be honest with you guys, I'm a little overwhelmed right now. My kitchen is in shambles. It's just very, very overwhelming. Hey, how would you say that? Brampton. Hi, Brampton Gardner. How are you doing? We are hard and heavy packing because we're leaving out of here mid-January. So we have got to really kind of scale stuff down because we're renting a 10-foot U-Haul, and what we can fit in that's what we're taking. So, because there's a lot of furniture that's already there that my folks are letting us have use, type of stuff. And it's not like I'm just moving across town. We are literally moving 5.5 hours away. The week before Keith and I move, we're moving Kendra up to Huntsville to Sam Houston State University. So our family's kind of splitting, and we're moving in both of us are moving at the same time. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy, and it's just getting started good. You never realize how much crap you have until you get ready to move. It's awful. I hope to never have to move again. That's the goal, but yeah. We'll see. We've just, gosh, guys, the price on everything has gone up so stinking much. It's ridiculous. When I first started looking at the U-Hauls, it was going to be about $350. It's going to cost us $500 now because we're going to get a trailer to pull the car, and it's just going to be a mess. But we've got it locked in, so if something happens with prices and they try to go up again, I think they will honor their original quote, I hope. Or if it goes down, they'll cut us a break. Yeah, it's just, I hate moving. We moved in this apartment 4 years ago. Oh, I need to tell y'all that story. I told Teresa last night, Stringfield on Marco. I have turned into one of those cranky old women, I think, that, get off my lawn type people. I try not to be, but we got the most obnoxious children that live in this complex. And they don't even live in my building. They live on the next building over. But they run around, they're playing hide and seek. And I don't care what they do outside. There's a playground right over here. I don't care. They get out right in front of my door right here, and my daughter's bedroom window is by the door, and they scream at the top of their lungs. And they're doing it intentionally because they know they can get away with it. My husband walks out there the other night and says, "Hey, you guys go on, you're being really loud." And this child, I didn't know how old she was. She sounded older to me because I'm sitting here on the couch and looks at my husband and says, "You live in an apartment. You ought to be used to all the noise." And he said, "Not outside our door," or something to that effect. And she said, "We can do whatever." Basically, she said, "We can do whatever we want to, and there ain't nothing you can do about it." And I'm like, "Wench," which that's not what I said. To my husband, I said, "That wench needs to go on before I call the cops." And she's like, "Do it. They're not going to do anything." Again, I have not laid eyes on this child. I'm just hearing her at the front door. "Hey, Paul, how you doing, honey?" And so I called the non-emergency number, and probably 30 minutes went by. They were still dive bombing out here and then at our door, just being obnoxious. Well, I get a phone call. It's a local PD officer. I won't give his name. But he had to have been the most arrogant, I'm trying not to cuss here, jerk I have ever dealt with in my life. I was a part of law enforcement for a lot of years on the correction side. I had a lot of friends who were cops. I dated a cop or two. I mean, so I've been a part of that community for a long time, but not down here. This was all in North Texas. And he talked to me like I was white trash, stupid, I mean, he was just like very antagonistic. And in short, was first he threatened to write me a citation for disorderly conduct. And I said, I was sitting in my house on my couch. I wasn't outside. I didn't say anything to that little girl's face. I was sitting right here on my couch. Well, they're just kids. And if their parents wanted to, I could arrest you if they wanted to press charges on you. I said, again, for what? I said, well, they're just kids. You need to let them play and leave them alone. And I'm like, I understand they're just kids, but I also have an Asperger's child who is trying to study for finals, and loud noises are very disruptive for her. Do we not have a right to live in relevant peace? Well, but they're just kids. And they have a right not to be called names. And I mean, this went on for a good 15 minutes. I wasn't going to back down to it at all. Wasn't going to back down. And I finally said, well, I know your superiors. I'll take it up with them. We'll just leave it at that. There's a little more to it, but I don't want that this really out on YouTube. And he got really mad at that point. That's when he was really threatening to arrest me. And then it's like something clicked in his mind, like, I better shut up and walk away from this. He's like, well, I hope you have a good night. And hangs up on me. Good to see you too, Paul. He's on Facebook. You hear me talking to Paul. He's not on YouTube, but it was like I said. I have the utmost respect for law enforcement. This guy was just very chauvinistic and, I'm better and smarter and I know the law. Well, I know the law too, jackass. Oh, can I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was all that to say is I'm not going to miss all the loud noises, people being on my head, banging around. These apartments weren't constructed well. The walls, outside walls, were well insulated, but the ceilings were not soundproofed at all. Somebody walks across their floor, you hear it. I mean, it's just awful. Yeah, it was something. She had the cops called on her before, or she was related to this guy or something, because she knew that she could get away with it. But I agree. A show of hands right here. When you were a kid, if you acted that way, would your parents not have beat the tar out of you? I mean, my dad would have kicked my butt. You just weren't.
You don't talk to an
You
adult.
just don't talk to an adult like that, But yes, hey Allie, how are you, sweetheart? So anyway, that was all that to say is I'm not going to miss any of that. I'm not going to miss all the loud noises. I had never lived in an apartment complex before. Now I've lived like in duplexes and that kind of stuff. Hey, Jacob, how are you, sweet boy? There's my son, John Shepherd. That's my youngest son. So I'm just fixing to talk about the move, Jacob. We are full throttle into this move. I've got boxes all over the house. Yeah, I think I was a correctional officer, so it just kids are different these days. They're just because they know they can't. Nobody can tell them no. Nobody can get on to them, and they know it. I think we've ruined, or our children have ruined, because I think it's a lot of millennials kids, that we just ruined them. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. All that to say is I'm ready to get to the country. We are, we're ready. We've still got a lot of stuff to do, but we're ready to get there. I know. My children that live up in North Texas are ready to get me there. So it's going to be fun. I have to be careful and not set and overwhelm myself about all the stuff that I need to do when we get there. It's crazy. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I know y'all can actually see up close to my face today. Yeah, I agree. But the other thing about that, now that I'm kind of we're in here a few minutes, this will probably be our last live until after we move. Because things are just way too unorganized and out of sorts for me to try, unless I sit down and do something like this, where I just kind of sit down and update and chat with y'all, versus doing a cooking show. I may do that. But I probably won't go do like another cooking live until after we move. We're moving mid-January, I think probably a good honest time would be to say probably that first Saturday in February we'll go live. That'll give us enough time to get up there, start getting stuff unpacked, getting things organized a little bit. But there'll still be videos. I will still be putting videos out. I'm documenting a lot of our move and the process, and I've got some things set up to, just kind of show the journey. I was, I don't want to know what that was. So I just don't know how it's going to look. And I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm just a little overwhelmed. We're going to call the 1st of January and have the internet hooked up, since it's my parents' house, that we're doing this with. They're there, they're there and can be there to do that. So I should have internet when we get there. That's kind of the hope anyway. Yeah, I will. And like I said, Teresa, I may do a random live, and just pop in and catch everybody up. I'm still going to be putting out videos. That's not going to change. I know, Teresa, you've seen it, but if y'all haven't seen the video I put out yesterday, I'd appreciate y'all go loving on that video a little bit. I've got some funny bloopers at the end. So, or I thought they were funny, but my husband laughed. All right, baby, have a good day. That is a hardworking young man right there. He's going to make some lady a great husband someday. I'm just saying. He cooks. He's a hard worker. Yeah, I'm trying to do that a little bit more because that's what videos for me are like. Something at the end like that, something like that always happens, and usually I edit it out, but that was just too funny not to leave in there, and that's real life. You get as a creator, you want everything to look good, you want it to look professional and all this stuff, but some of the best videos for me are the ones that people leave bloopers in there, that they just, because that's real life, right? That's how it happens. If you have ever filmed videos, nothing goes like you want it to. The camera falls, the whatever, with me, I think a lot of y'all may know, it was a long time since I put out that dyslexia video. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes words are not my friend, and they come out funny, and, or I'm like, what am I trying to say? Part of it's just getting old. I mean, anybody my age and older, how many of you can walk into a room and go, why did I come here? My favorite is open up a web browser and like, what was I going to look up? My daughter swears that I have Alzheimer's.
Oh, here she comes. She heard you.
Did she hear me?
Now, what's concerning is,
Well, get out close enough that they can hear you. You're going to talk.
Yep.
what's concerning is going in the kitchen saying, hey, do you want a cup of tea? We have this flavor. And she's like, oh, I want to try that. And she has already tried that several times.
It's like a new adventure every day.
It is concerning. And then forgetting I tried it too.
Okay, let me get back to my show. Peanuts from or comments from the peanut gallery right there. But we,
Yeah, talk about real life.
yeah, talk about real life. It's going to be different not having Kendra around. She What?
Yeah, it's going to be different.
It's going to be different, but it's going to be good for her too, to be out on her own, live life a little bit without mom and dad. So I'm excited for her. But there's probably going to be a lot of bloopers in this transition for us. I'll probably start doing a few more homesteading videos because the goal when I start is a garden and chickens, or at least a few chickens to figure out if I know what I'm doing. I've lived vicariously through my friends that have chickens, and I know I have a great support system if I have a chicken question to go ask people. So
Yes, you do.
I'm really excited about it. Plus, our neighbor, it's the neighbor on the other side of the parents, they have goats and chickens and all kind of cow. They are really doing the whole kind of micro homesteading deal. I think they have 3 or 4 acres,
Something like that.
something like that. It's not a lot, but they utilize what they have very well. I'm hoping that maybe I could even buy some chicks from them, because I know they do it right. It's not a mass-produced situation. Their chickens are healthy. So their chicks are healthy. But if they have any ready when I get ready to do this, I'm hoping that I can get some from them. And yes, Teresa, I'm sure there is always bloopers. Y'all's live streams are hilarious. He gets on a roll about something, and it's funny. Yeah, I agree. I mean, in Franklin, we're going to be on about an acre of land, but I want to be able to utilize as much as I can productively, like simple things. What Mom and I were talking, I want to get, like at Christmas, instead of doing a big full Christmas tree, because it's just me and my kids and them. I mean, it's not a big, but get one of those pine trees that is in the bucket that you can plant after Christmas. So after Christmas, I want to put trees all along my back fence line, and just build up some good shade and stuff that way. But every year, just after Christmas, put the tree in the dirt and hope that it makes it, or even leave it, put it in a one of those half whiskey bottles. What are those called? Y'all know what I'm talking about, or not bottles, but planter things. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? Barrel. That was the word I was trying to say. Whiskey barrel. Yeah, I'm going to be doing videos on how much you can grow. Also, I'm going to be coming at an angle a little bit because I know there's a lot of people out there that are like my husband and I. We're both on disability. And I don't know how much of that I've shared with y'all. I got hurt on the job in 2005. And that's why I'm not in corrections anymore. But show how 2 middle-aged disabled people can do the homestead thing, even if it's at a smaller scale, even if it's a small garden and some chickens, that you can do this. Because a lot of Teresa and Lee are our age, and Betty and Libby, but a lot of people doing this and putting out videos are 30-somethings, right? And they have little kids, and not a lot of them are in March, I'll be 49 years old. My husband this month will be 54 years old. So I thought that would be a great story to tell. What, two people can accomplish, even when they have limitations. And hopefully be encouraging to folks, There'll still obviously be a lot of cooking videos. I mean, I'm still primarily, for right now, a cooking. It's okay. We're still in the same demographic, Teresa. What's funny about that is I have always hung out with older people. Even when I was a kid, I would prefer to hang out with adults versus other kids my age. Always. So, I think those things are important to document and to tell. I'm going to be doing a video on legacy. Legacy is something that is very important to me personally. I come from a good legacy. My story is a good story. But for me, like when I die, I don't want a funeral. I'd rather people go out, have a few margaritas, and tell funny stories about me. Really, I hate funerals. I hate them. So I don't want to torture people with a funeral. But what I do want is a good obituary. I want my obituary to tell all about me, who I was, what I loved, what I was passionate about, talk about my children, and I want that good legacy that people are like, she was good people, and I want all that. That's what's important to me, is leaving the world better than how I found it, leaving a community. We're leaving our church home that we've been a part of for 10 years. 11 years. I've worked for 10 years. So, but I want to leave that in a way that is honorable to the service I've given to that church for 10 years, And that's just something that's really important to me. I have a Swiss chard. It's, like Teresa said, it's really good in salads and soups. Awesome. My garden it's really done. I need to get out there and finish cleaning it up and dumping out my grow bags and getting them ready to move. I just haven't made it yet. And the problem is right now, it's December. And if y'all didn't know this, when you work for a church during the Christmas season, it's a little cuckoo. After I get off here, I'm going to have to, they're having a lunch over in the Woodlands, and I'm going to go to that lunch. And then, it's just like something every weekend, something is going. And we're not doing probably half of it, but it's still a lot of work. So, oh, that's awesome. That is really cool. That's what I want. I want people to say I loved well. And even when the neighborhood kids drive me insane, I still want to love well. I just don't have the patience anymore for smart mouth kids. I guess I didn't ever really have patience for smart mouth kids, but anyway. So, if you are a channel member, please, 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 please make sure I have your email. Or, yeah. Well, I need your email and your physical address because I want to send out Christmas cards. Like Teresa, I have yours. So, yeah, you use it like spinach. I'm reading Shelley's post. Okay. Going down, raised by Exactly. I mean, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather, my granddad, and my dad's parents, and I enjoyed spending time with them. My little 91-year-old grandmother is still alive and up there. She's in a nursing home right now. She has Alzheimer's, dementia, but I enjoy spending time with her because she's not completely gone. There's still enough there that she can remember things and just you can see it. Now she may ask you the same question 500 times, but then she'll remember something. So I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time with her. What time she has left with us. She is an avid crocheter, and so am I. It's too far to reach, but I mean, I've got yarn right here, So I'm gonna get one of those big crochet hooks and some yarn, and see if like muscle memory will kick in for her, and she can set even if she makes a chain, something. Yeah, that is a part of my big goal is really spending time with her and two, kind of giving some respite to my mom. Teresa, you know how it is with elderly like that it's hard on your soul. And my mother has been taking care of her parents and her in-laws for a lot of years now. And just to be able to, if she's not feeling up to it, I'm going to go see my mom today and go spend time with her. It's okay. Or go with her and help. I'm a little bit more like, I'll give you an example. The last time we were up there, went in and Mama was in a full-blown panic attack. So Mom's trying to calm her down, and she said, "Do you want a wash rag?" And I said, "I'll get her a wash rag." And I walked down there, and I asked an aide, and I've worked in this same nursing home. That's the funny thing about it. That's what I did before I went to corrections, is I was a nurse's aide. But I asked her, I said, "My grandmother is in a panic. Do you know what's going on?" And he said, "Well, I think the doctor changed her medication." So I took the wash rag back to Mom, went to the nurse's station, and I asked the nurse, I said, "Why is my grandmother, she was doing so good, why is she down there in panic?" "Well, the doctor took her off her Valium." "Why?" "Well, that's just, he doesn't think that she really needs it." I'm like, I'm looking at her right now, I guarantee you she does. And I told the aide, I said, "We need to get her up." So they was down there getting her up, and I brought her to the nurse's station. I said, "She needs something right now." Well, that poor little, which I'm a little bit more forceful, I guess. It's a lack of a better word to use. Assertive, maybe that's the better word than my mom is. And I mean, within minutes, that nurse had called the doctor, then called the psychiatric doctor, and got her on new medication. And it took that long to do. But it's stuff that I know that if you push, you can get it done. Where my mom just not knowing better, thinking, well, they're the medical professionals, so they know best and that kind of stuff. And I'm a little bit more, because I've had to advocate so much for myself over the years and my daughter and stuff, that it does hurt to see them go down. It is so hard. She was a very active woman. I mean, they were the homesteaders before homesteading was a thing. You know what I mean? Before it was a popular, they did all the stuff. They had a market garden. They had a family garden. They sold pecans and black-eyed peas, and she canned, and so yeah, I think, Teresa, that sometimes you just have to put your foot down with them. I mean, that lady, she was on it, and now Mom said they put her back on her medicine, put her back on the Valium. This is my thing. She's 91 years old. She has got Alzheimer's and dementia. Who cares if she's addicted to the Valium? And that's why they took her off of it, because they didn't want her to get addicted to it. Are you kidding me? Isn't it much more important to keep her calm, where she's not freaking out at everything? So I'm sure I'm going to be helping out with that as much as I can. I was able to get her to eat a little bit more food, and just I think it'll be good for all of us. So, hey, never enough time. How you doing? It's so good to see you. Exactly. That's what my point was. She's 91 years old and has Alzheimer's. You're really gonna take her off the medicine that helps keep her calm? Just makes no sense to me. But I'm glad that they were able to help her out and stuff. But anyway, so everybody that just come in, to reiterate, this will be our last official live until after the move. My intention is to come back doing regular live streams again the 1st of February. We're just going to be, and like I said, I may do random lives here and there, just get a wild hair and say, hey, let's tell my family, let's go live today and update everybody. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll let you know, I'll post it in my community tab if we're going to do something like that. So you'll have a little heads up. If you are a channel member, please, please, please make sure I have your address. Obviously, Teresa, I have yours. But because I want to get Christmas cards out and just, try to do some little stuff for Christmas. And we are super excited about this move and just getting to spend time with my folks. And, it's been a while coming. It's really kind of funny. Kind of a little backstory here. I'll go on another little story. I'll keep it 2 more minutes. 2 years ago when we went to Ohio?
Yeah.
Or I did. I went to a pastor's conference in Dayton, Ohio. We stayed in this Airbnb out in the country. It was, like a 1898 farmhouse.
That was haunted.
Yeah, it was haunted, but it was cool. And I would sit out there in the mornings drinking my coffee, and I didn't hear sirens. I didn't hear loud children. I didn't hear barking dogs or you know what I mean? There was just nothing. And just nature. Birds were singing. There were butterflies floating around. It was just it just started on my heart. I was like, man, I miss the country. I really do. I miss the serenity of living in the country. So that just kind of started, and probably for the first year, I thought we would try to find somewhere local, just outside of town. The problem with here is that it's getting taken over by Houston. A town that was like 60,000 when we moved here, but it still had a small town feel to it because it was so spread out. Now has over 100,000 people, if not more now. Apartment complexes going up everywhere, and traffic is horrific. And it was just like, I need to get out of here. And then my mom said something to me about, well, we're going to have an extra house here. And it really kind of set us on a path of figuring out what that would look like. So I think it's right timing with Kendra going to college, and we'll be empty nesters. And okay, what's up here? Oh, girl, me and you both. All I talk about is chickens, and I would maybe love goats, but that's going to be a maybe. I may just end up enjoying my neighbor's goats because they're work. I love goats. I had goats growing up, or my grandfather did, and then my little brother raised show goats. But it's got a porch swing on it, and I can sit out there in my robe if I wanted to, and drink a cup of coffee and just hear chickens and animals. And that's what I want. It's just that serenity of life, of I can't go outside when you're not hearing sirens go off, and it's just loud. They're building all those apartment complexes around us, so you're hearing the nail guns, and it's just loud. And it's gotten overwhelming for me. So I believe in my heart that God's calling people back to the land. I truly believe that, and that's why the homesteading movement is such a big deal. We all kind of understand that our food system is broken, and that it's just a better way to live. Oh yeah, I'd love to get a pig too. Try to say that all at the same time. I want rabbits for that reason, for the poop. I honestly can say I don't think I have ever ate rabbit. Mom has. Mom says it's really good, and the way everybody talks, rabbit's really good. That's going to be a new thing for me, is actually like harvesting my meat. With my chickens and stuff. But the thing I do know, if we had to, we'd have food. So I know. That's what I got to keep telling myself too, right? It's just one step at a time. You can't, and that's what everybody tells you. Only do one thing, one or two things, like garden chickens. Start there, and that's where I'm going to start. And, oh, really, Teresa? I don't think I've ever had either one. I've ate rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Tasted like chicken. Well, guys, I have kept y'all here long enough, I think. Thank you for coming in today. Please, please, please go watch my videos. Share them out with your friends. That helps me. If you haven't given me a thumbs up yet, please do so. I really appreciate that. But go watch my videos and share them. I'm going to be putting out, some are going to be regular Christmas stuff. I'm going to be putting some keto Christmas stuff out, but I'm really kind of doubling down on a lot of stuff like that. So if you would, please help get my videos out there, because that helps pay the bills. And we did better in November as far as, you know, what we made on YouTube videos than I think it's one of our best months ever. So thank y'all. I appreciate you more than you will possibly ever know. And thank you for showing up and being a part of our lives. I can't wait to share this journey with y'all. And as for the live stream, like I said, may do a random here and there. But keep an eye out for it. And then when we get settled, we will be back in full force. I love you guys so much. We will see you guys on the next one. Oh, where's my deal? All right.